Have you ever been in a conversation and then suddenly, boom, silence? Your brain goes blank. You start panicking. What should I say now? And then it gets awkward. You smile nervously, maybe check your phone, and just hope the other person saves the moment. Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be like that? What if I told you there are simple ways, like actual tools and habits, that can help you keep the conversation going naturally, even with strangers? You don't have to be super confident. You don't have to be funny. You just need the right mindset and a few tricks. So today, let's talk about how to never run out of things to say. Part 1, it's okay to feel stuck sometimes. First of all, if you ever feel awkward in conversations, you're not weird. You're human. Our minds are full of thoughts. School, work, what to eat, what to watch on Netflix. So when you suddenly have to talk to someone new or keep a conversation alive, your brain might freeze a little. That's normal. But you know what's even more important than always knowing what to say? Being present, being there, really listening. Most people don't run out of things to say because they have no ideas. They run out because they're too busy thinking about the perfect thing to say. And that pressure, it blocks the flow. Part 2, change your mindset from impress to connect. One of the biggest reasons we get stuck is this. We think we have to be impressive. We want to sound smart or funny or deep, so we stay silent until we think of something clever. But here's the truth. You don't need to impress people. You need to connect with them. And the best way to connect is curiosity. Instead of thinking, what should I say now? Try asking yourself, what can I learn about this person? This tiny shift changes everything, because suddenly it's not about performing, it's about discovering. You become interested instead of trying to be interesting. And guess what? People love talking about themselves. So if you're curious and ask simple questions, you'll always have something to say, because the conversation becomes about them. Part 3, use the magic of questions. Let me show you a simple trick that works like magic. It's called the Ford technique. It stands for family, occupation or school, recreation, hobbies, what they do for fun, dreams, goals, future plans. These 4 topics are like treasure chests. You can ask one small question and suddenly the person opens up a whole story. Let's say you just met someone. You can ask, do you have any siblings? Family. What do you do for work? Or what are you studying? Occupation. What do you usually do to relax? Or got any fun hobbies? Recreation. Is there something you've always wanted to try? Or what's a dream of yours? Dreams. And here's the best part. After they answer, you don't need to jump to a new question. Just go deeper. For example, oh, really? How did you get into that? That sounds cool. What do you like most about it? No way. I've always wanted to try that too. This keeps the conversation flowing like a river. Smooth and natural. Part 4, don't overthink your replies. Here's something a lot of people struggle with. Maybe you too. They listen, but instead of reacting naturally, they think, what should I say that sounds smart? Will this sound boring? Is that a weird thing to say? And then, silence. So let me give you permission right now. You don't have to be smart, you just have to be real. If someone says they love hiking, you can say, oh, nice. I've never really done that. What's it like? I tried it once and got super tired, haha. Do you go often? Cool. I'm more of a lazy park walk person, but hiking sounds fun. Simple, honest reactions are powerful. They show that you're listening and that you care, and that's what people remember. Part 5, use stories instead of statements. Here's another cool trick. When possible, tell short stories instead of giving short answers. Let me show you the difference. Someone asks, how was your weekend? You say, good. And then it dies. Now try this. It was good. I went to this small cafe with a friend, and they had the weirdest drink menu, like lavender coffee. I didn't try it though. I panicked and got a latte. Suddenly, it's more alive. It invites a response. Wait, lavender coffee? That's a thing? I would have panicked too, haha. That's the power of micro stories. They're short, true, and make people feel something. Even boring topics can become fun if you wrap them in a little story. Part 6, pay attention to energy, not just words. This is something that many people miss, but it's so important. What you say is less important than how you say it. Your energy, your tone, your face, they all speak. You can say something really simple like, Oh, wow, that's awesome. But if you say it with a flat tone and no eye contact, it dies. Now say it with a smile and genuine interest, and it becomes warm. People don't just listen to words, they feel your presence. So don't worry about saying something deep. Focus on being present. Be playful. Be relaxed. Even a that's interesting with real curiosity can keep a conversation going. You see, conversations aren't about saying perfect things. They're about sharing moments, laughing, asking, responding. They're like dancing, not a speech, not a test. And the more relaxed and curious you are, the easier it gets. So next time you talk to someone and feel the silence coming, take a breath, smile, ask something simple, and just follow the flow. You got this. Part 7. Bring back old topics, the callback trick. Here's a smooth way to keep the conversation alive, especially when you're running out of steam. Go back to something they said earlier. This is called a callback, and it works beautifully. Let's say someone mentioned they like painting, but now the conversation has drifted. Later, when there's a pause, you can say, "Hey, I've been thinking about that painting thing. What kind of stuff do you usually paint?" It shows you were listening. It brings the topic back in a natural way, and it makes the other person feel special. People love it when you remember things about them, even small things. It's like saying, "Hey, what you said mattered. I cared." And that creates connection. Part 8. Learn to enjoy the silence. Yes, really. Okay, this might sound strange, but hear me out. Silence isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes when we're nervous, we treat silence like a monster. Like, oh no, we stopped talking. It's ruined. I failed. But in reality, silence is part of every conversation. It gives space. It lets thoughts land. It lets people breathe. Think about close friends. They don't talk nonstop. They sit together in silence sometimes, and it feels comfortable. So next time there's a pause, don't panic. Just relax. Smile. Take a sip of your drink. Look around. The moment will pass and another idea will come. Part 9. Practice in low-pressure situations. If you want to be better at conversations, the best way is practice, but not in high-pressure moments like interviews or first dates. Instead, try this. Talk to a barista at a coffee shop. Ask the cashier how their day's going. Chat with a classmate about a random topic. Say hi to someone waiting in line near you. These short conversations are like push-ups for your confidence. You get used to starting things, reacting naturally, and dealing with awkward pauses without pressure. It's not about being perfect. It's about building ease. And the more you do it, the more it becomes automatic. Like a muscle. Part 10. Be okay with being a little awkward. Real talk. You will mess up sometimes. You'll say something weird. You'll forget a name. You'll make a bad joke and no one laughs. It happens to everyone. But guess what? People don't judge you as much as you think. In fact, when you're a little awkward, it makes you more real, more human. Think of someone you like talking to. Are they perfect? Probably not. But maybe they're honest, or funny, or kind. So if you stumble, just laugh it off. Say, haha, okay, that came out weird, and move on. Confidence isn't about always saying the right thing. It's about not needing to be perfect. Part 11. Have go-to topics ready, just in case. Sometimes it helps to have a few topics in your back pocket, like tools you can pull out when the convo slows down. Here are some easy, universal ones. What's the last show or movie you watched? Any cool places you visited? If you had a free weekend with no responsibilities, what would you do? Have you ever tried roller skating? What's something weird or funny that happened to you recently? These are light, open-ended, and easy to answer. They often lead to stories, laughs, or shared experiences. You don't have to memorize a script. Just keep a few of these in your mental toolkit. Part 12. Respond with emotion, not just logic. Sometimes we listen with our head, but we respond like a robot. Like, I went skydiving last year. Oh, that's cool. But imagine if you replied with emotion. No way, that's insane. Were you terrified or excited? Now that's alive. It feels real. The secret? React like a friend, not a reporter. Match their energy. Show curiosity. Let yourself feel stuff. Emotion connects people faster than logic. Part 13. Be the kind of person people want to talk to. You know what keeps conversations going naturally? Being warm, being present, being kind. People are drawn to those who listen without interrupting, who smile, who seem genuinely happy to be there. You don't have to be the funniest or most talkative. Just be the one who makes others feel seen. When people feel safe and appreciated around you, they open up more, they talk more, and suddenly, you're not running out of things to say anymore because the flow takes care of itself. Final message, heartfelt, that's empowering. So let's bring it all together. If you ever feel nervous in conversations, you're not alone. But remember this, you don't have to be impressive. You don't need perfect words. You just need to be present, curious, and real. Ask questions, tell little stories, react with emotion, laugh at your own awkwardness, and most of all, don't pressure yourself to keep talking. Great conversations aren't about quantity, they're about connection. And connection starts with a simple moment of honesty, a smile, a me too. That's so cool, tell me more. So the next time your mind goes blank, just breathe. You've got tools now, you've got presence, and you've got everything you need to never run out of things to say. Now go talk to someone. Let it be messy. Let it be fun. Let it be real. You're more ready than you think.